What?
Zip it right now.
Yeah, zip it, mister.
Fortnite.
Okay.
Play Fortnite.
Dude, Brendan just reappeared. Your
Wow.
camera was frozen.
Yeah, we'll see. I was just saying we'll see if my Wi-Fi behaves today, and then that happens.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Studios. We are here again with episode 2 of the Video Game Book Club. Today, we have played Inscryption. Inscryption, for those of you who do not know, is an inky black card-based odyssey that blends the deck building side of roguelike with escape room style puzzles and psychological horror. I'm here with the team again. We're going to be talking about Inscryption. I think we had a good enough time to play the game, see what we thought. And now we're here together again to talk about it. If you guys haven't seen our previous episode, go check out episode 1. We played Undertale. It was super fun. Now we're here with Inscryption. I'm going to start with my thoughts, and we'll go down the line and we'll have everyone speak what they thought about the game, their first impressions. We can discuss. I thought it was pretty interesting. I like deck building games. I mean, specifically games like Hearthstone, Slay the Spire is kind of cool. I mean, Hearthstone's a little different with you could play both the roguelike side and then you can play the more you have a deck that's kind of persistent. But this game, I loved how they, at least my impressions are coming off of the first chunk, the first act, and we'll dive into the later sections of the game once we start talking more about it. But the fact of getting a card and then you can modify that card and then you have a deck and then obviously it's a roguelike, so you play with that deck and if you die, you then have to reset and you're given a basic deck again. And so then you have to build that up as you go through the story. And I thought just in general, I like those kind of games. I don't know what everyone else thinks. I enjoy these kind of games. The roguelike kind of pisses me off once in a while, but because I'm dead and I have to restart, but that is part of the fun. So I'm curious. We'll jump to Cade. Cade, what are your thoughts and impressions on this?
Sorry,
can
we just got this?
Yeah.
The fire alarm's going off, or the blowback.
New batteries, bro.
What's going on?
The meme is happening.
The fire alarm didn't go off. The low battery alarm did.
It's like the smoke detector alarm. It's like going
Oh.
beep.
I can't hear it. Funny enough, his
The
mic's
low
good.
income
I
community.
can hear
Now
it.
I
really.
hear it. Now I
the
do.
low income. That's what I was joking about. I was like, it's the meme. It's finally
The
happening.
low income meme.
All right. Yeah, I really liked Inscryption. I've played it now twice. 3 times, including this time. I got to the second act the first time I played, and the third act the second time I played. So this was my first time finishing it, and I really liked it. I definitely, the level of polish and clearly the amount of time that went into designing all the mechanics and the different versions of the game is obviously really impressive. I thought the story was fun, but also and definitely intriguing. I think the problem was that I had a certain expectation of the game, and I was really liking that version of the game in Act 1. So I got caught really off guard going into Act 2. And I honestly, that made me stop playing the first time. And the same happened with Act 3. But I powered through this time, and I think the overall story is really good and interesting. We'll talk about how it's told and stuff, but yeah, honestly, my favorite part of this game was the roguelike deck building, and the vibe and the aesthetic of Act 1 was amazing to me. So yeah, those are my overall thoughts. We'll get into the nitty-gritty as we go along. So
Yeah, so I was also in a very similar position to Cade, where I had played it once and then sort of just dropped it when something weird happened, and then was coming back to it. Overall, I think it's a really good game. It's a lot of fun. The roguelike deck builder part is really fun, and then it does all these fun things on top of it that are just interesting to interact with. I do feel like my primary criticism of the game is that like it's a ton of fun when you start playing it, but I feel like it's fun. Its mechanics drop off really quickly.
Yeah, I thought this game was pretty cool. I heard some sentiment about different acts changing the vibe. I didn't really feel like that was the case for me. Every act kind of felt. I didn't think they were all equally good, but I wasn't like super thrown off when when you were thrown into a different act. But I really did like Act 1. I liked how my deck slowly built. I actually got really unlucky with my cards when I was dying. I kept getting the worst pairs ever. And I felt also like all the cards that I made when I was dying, I never got any of them. I got like Casey and I got these other cards. I never got the cards I made. Like this one card that was pretty good I'd get every once in a while. So that I thought that was a little bit of like a mechanic that was lost on the game. But I thought that the first act was really fun, and like just creating like a deck that was, worthy of killing the final boss in the first act was really fun. And I got really lucky at the end of the first act. I got both of the like whatever you call them, that you get to like look through the deck and you also get to pick 2 cards, and maybe everyone got that, but I thought that was really cool. And I thought the part in Act 3 where, and obviously we'll go into all this, but like I thought when it like, it's like pick a file from your computer that was like this. I'm like, no way, I'm gonna lose this file. I actually picked like it was like not that, but I think it was like I found an 100 gigabyte file in Star Citizen. I don't know if that was
I don't need this.
I literally was like, there's no way this one file is 100 gigs, and it like freaking slammed the scale down. It was so cool. But yeah, no, I thought it was a pretty good experience, but obviously more of my thoughts will come out as we speak more about it. But yeah.
Cade had been telling me to play Inscryption for a while, honestly. And so it was nice to have the excuse to finally play it. I've never really done like a deck builder game before, so it was definitely new to me, and it was a lot of trial and error in Act 1, kind of trying to figure out like how the game worked and whatnot. I think my favorite part about I would say Act 1 and Act 3, and I guess the game in general with those 2 parts, is like the visual aesthetic is just really cool. I love it. I love kind of like the dark, grungy vibe, and the way that the different things move within the 3D environment. I think is just really cool. That was just really it drew me into the game a lot. I think for me, the weak point in the game was I thought it was really cool with the transition into Act 2, and then when I got into Act 2, I was turned off by it pretty quickly, just because they introduced so many mechanics with the card game so quickly. Like the basically the 3 other different, or they introduced 2 actually. They had the bones and the first act. But it was just like really overwhelming for me. I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I could do this. Like this is too much. But I went through it, and it was good, and I really enjoyed the game. I really love that it was very like mixed media. You had the recorded, the live recorded actions, and then the mix between 2D and 3D. I think that was also like my favorite part.
Right.
So yeah, I enjoyed the game. I finished it, and it was fun.
I came up with some good. Well, maybe they're not great, but the
If you
trivia question.
Control enter for page break. Yeah, sorry I didn't write about this one. I was
neither.
intending to, but then I failed to do so.
Don't worry about it. Okay.
Don't look at the quiz.
Okay.
Don't
Not
quiz.
looking at the quiz. That's for later. That's for later.
I'll try and hide it, but I'm like, I got the agenda open.
It's on the next page. Oh, I just
It should be on
looked.
the next page, bro.
Kidding. I scrolled right back up.
You read all of it.
Yeah, I was super excited to jump into this game because I really only had been exposed to deck builder games through playing Magic the Gathering growing up a little bit, and then like my brief stint playing Hearthstone on mobile a long time ago. But both of those I had a lot of fun playing and was kind of curious to explore something in a more like indie medium. So as soon as I jumped in, I just thought the environment was super cool and super immersive. I loved kind of exploring the little cabin and being frustrated at like, what am I supposed to do in here? Like there's clearly stuff to interact with, but not really sure where to go. And I had a lot of fun just kind of figuring out what's happening and playing the deck builder game. On the opposite of what Jackson was saying, I actually got to use my death cards a lot, and I built some really funny ones throughout the whole experience that had some really crazy builds. I had this one called the Great Wall of China that I ended up stacking to like. Cade didn't see this run, but I think he had 15 health at one point.
No, I saw the Great Wall of China.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Like it was like 15 health and cost 1 blood and did a little bit of damage too. So just it was some crazy death builds that I was able to stack and just kind of was doing the fireplaces as I was going, and so I really had fun with the roguelike deck builder part of the game.
Cool.
And then, as we'll talk about later, the transition to Act 2 really kind of crushed my momentum a little bit, and I was overwhelmed like Nolan and just felt like I wasn't sure what was going on, sort of got lost, and that was around the time where I sort of got frustrated with the game and stopped. But overall, I had such an incredible experience with Act 1 and was really hoping that that was going to be the entire premise of the game, but it definitely strayed away from it.
I wanted to butt in just for context, and I didn't say this before, and I apologize for the viewers. I have also not played this game. I watched some stuff before, YouTube-wise, Markiplier-wise, so I was familiar with the thing, but what everyone's been saying, I'm kind of in the same boat, especially with Sean. I love the elements and love messing with everything. I just want to put that in there. Apologies. But speaking of the deck building element, you build cards, you build your deck, you build out the cards themselves with different sigils. What was everyone's favorite card or build to build within any of the acts?
The card where it takes the entire deck for the amount of damage you do was.
Oh yeah,
That was
that one.
I just said it earlier, but the Great Wall of China card was pretty funny once I got it set up. The other one that Cade and I built
That's
that was
funny.
really nuts when he was playing with me. I forget what we stacked on it, but I like got one of my characters had the like split attack mantis.
Yeah.
As like its standard,
Yeah.
and then I sacrificed the triple attack mantis onto it.
Mantis
So it
God.
ended up Mantis God.
Yeah.
So that card ended up doing 5 hits in total. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
That's awesome.
And I had I went to the flame place and I triple hit it and I got it up to like 5 damage. So
Wow.
I think in the end it was close to 25 damage if it had a clean hit. And it was just the craziest card once you had it stacked. And once again, I got really lucky with all my death cards being like 2 blood or 1 blood, and I was able to just
That's nice.
throw them in and crush at the beginning.
Sure.
Yeah, so there's like a million ways you can get overpowered cards in this game. But I really like the design of Ouroboros.
I was
Not
gonna say,
necessarily
yes.
overpowered. I mean, it can get there, but like given how the game plays out over multiple acts and your Ouroboros power sticks between the acts, it's just it feels so good when you see it and you're like, I can do it again.
Right.
Like,
Because if you stack, and that answers the question for me. My favorite was the infinite Ouroboros. So you could put it down, and then you could use it, or you could sacrifice it infinitely, and if it dies, it restarts. So I was always able to respawn. So I had the infinite sacrifice and the infinite respawn on it, and that was the perfect for whenever I got it. And so I learned that actually when watching YouTube before, and it was the only thing I remembered. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I never used. I always saw the Ouroboros. I was like, oh, that's a shittier version of the mouse, or it's just like the mouse. So I didn't.
Right.
I didn't. Or not the mouse, but the Child 13 or whatever.
Right. Which I bet you could do the same thing too.
yeah. Child 13 is also really interesting.
Yeah.
I like that one. So.
I really enjoyed. I think the first thing I got that was like felt really crazy overpowered was I got like the 3 blood sacrifice totem on the squirrel, and that was really I didn't beat it with that run, but it was really fun to just like I was like, all right, I don't have to worry about blood costs anymore. Let me just stack like my deck full of grizzlies and moose, and that was very fun.
Right.
And I was hoping to get that again, but I didn't get it. But that was a really really fun combo.
I was so on the other end of the spectrum, and Cade was talking to me about it, where I was always trying to stack the cheapest build possible.
Exactly.
And then, like, I would purposely have like really overpowered cheap cards that I'd build my deck around. That then I could just sort of be flowing and spamming and just absolutely trying to crush them as quickly as possible. So
Yeah.
it's interesting to see like the other end of like building the heavy deck basically, and it's still seeing the same success.
Yeah. So the deck that won the first act for me was it was the heavy deck. I had a lot of heavy hitters, a lot of 3 costs, but I also gave all my deer cards Corpse Eater, so I just cheated all the heavy cards out.
Wow.
And that won me the game. Yep.
That's
Yeah.
I had so after you beat the game, there's Casey's mod, and it's just like kind of like a normal roguelike, and like there's like run modifiers and stuff, and you're just trying to make a harder and harder run. And the first one I did there, I don't know if the ballot save was just like they really want you to get easy cards or something, but like I don't know, but I ended up having like a squirrel with the like card search thing.
Oh my god. I think I had that too at one point. Yeah.
So I just put down this card search, grab my goat, and then once I had 2 squirrels, I basically and then eventually I got a powerful mantis god, sigil card, and that game ended up being very very easy. But I think there's like one where it was like I had mantis god on a moose that went to the mycologist, so I did like 7 damage for each thing. That one was good.
Interesting.
Yeah, but a lot of the fun is just like the little synergies you get through the game, and you working, you have a deck, and you have what you've pulled, and you're like, how can I I mean, it really is just a calculation. Like, what is the most optimal placement I can get right now, to just get me through. So that's probably the most fun. And then you get like crazy cards, and I think it's better when the game is like the most fun when you're like, you're going, and then you finally get that like crazy card that you've been building up, and then you finish it or whatever.
Yeah, my 5th death card. I finally I could use.
I had so many death cards
by
the time I finally got to the end of Act 1.
Yeah.
And that's what made it great. And honestly, that could be part of it, is like I died so many times that I kept getting my death cards because there were so many like populated throughout my experience. But
so funny that I didn't get any, like barely.
Did you die often, or did you
Jackson's
not?
just too good. Jackson's too
did.
good.
Oh.
I died at least 6 times or 7.
I have a comment about that, but we're gonna save it till the end because it's
okay.
The one thing I wanted to say about before we move on about build specifically, I mean, obviously Act 1 had the or you were limited to 2 types. So you had the bones, and then you had sacrificing. And then when you get into Act 2, you had all 4. So you had bones, you had sacrificing, you then had energy, and then you had what do they call it? I don't remember.
Stones.
Yeah, exactly. So you had that. I'll say this: I never used any of the magic. What was it? The rune,
The stones, the 3 crystals.
3 crystals.
Mox?
That I never used. The Vox, Mox,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever.
Mox.
I never used those at all. But I actually switched to energy. I don't know if anyone knew this, and I didn't. I figured it out right away. So like when you actually you collect the card decks, and then you build it. You open the menu to then build that deck in Act 2. Like you can go over the number. So I was able to put in every card as an option to get. I mean, which kind of ruins like some runs because then you have too many things and you don't want what you want. But I found that out early on. I was like, wait, I can go over this number. and then it ruined everything that I was trying to do. But it's kind of funny.
I have one comment about Act 2. I had, I got the mycologist, or I went to the mycologist and I got my mouse cards.
Yeah.
I'm realizing I had a thing in the trivia about this. I don't know if I want to talk about it. Never mind.
Okay.
All right.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
I want to say that's how I beat Act 2. Is I just spammed the mice, both the energy mice and the normal mice.
Damn.
That's just how.
I didn't think I barely used the mice the whole game, or as much as I played. I didn't use
I
this.
saw like one mouse in my entire time playing.
Right, yeah. I didn't care that much. I mean, I
The
had
field mouse is kind of broken,
I had
especially
a-
if you can
yeah.
put it on a card. Like you move that sigil to like a different card. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It definitely is broken. It's very.
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, only really at the start is the game actually somewhat difficult. I found that going into the second and third act were, I mean, like, it's not like they never put up a fight, but they were pretty easy.
Right.
Yep.
Jackson, do you have any thoughts about it before we move on to the next thing?
No, I'm trying to remember what the mice card, because I remember having the ants.
Yeah, I think it
But,
acts
like,
the
what
same,
was
does it
the-
not?
It's the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
kinda
did
forgot.
I did an insect build a couple times to see if I could focus primarily insect, kind of in the first act, and so then I failed at that. But
It's
Yeah.
not actually. It's not exactly the same. The mice, just every time you play the mice, it spawns one into your hand.
in your hand,
But it
Yeah,
doesn't.
the
It doesn't stack the damage based on how many
Right.
cards are filled, like the ants.
right?
But it's
Yeah,
Maybe
the mice are easy play acceleration, so like the energy mouse just gives you some energy, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
That was my trivia. Was what the mouse did.
Well, damn,
Yeah.
we did it, yay!
the in Act 2, I did the mycologist with the mouse, and it just gave you 2 mouse back. So you just get the
Oh, that's
the
good.
goat with Ocho gave you like 2 or like 3. What did it do? It gave you both the 3. I think it was free, and it gave you 3 blood and 4 bones, which was crazy. So you just place that down, and then you place 1 mouse down, and then if you have an infinite one, you could just fill
Dude,
the whole book
cruising.
with nice do 2. Yeah. No, Act 2 became like a non-issue after that. Like I didn't have to think at all.
Mhm.
That's really funny.
That's crazy.
So to kind of continue off from there, reading off my my cheat sheet here. Don't tell anybody I'm cheating. I'm reading off a script. It's all fake. It's all fake. Between Act 1, 2, and 3, which we've been talking about, how did the transitions between each of those acts? What were everyone's thoughts about going from Act 1 to 2? Oh, okay, Act 2 is kind of weird. But sorry, you guys have been mentioning it a couple times. Your thoughts in between. I'm curious what y'all are thinking. 1 to 2 to 3, and then the other parts if you got to them.
Yeah, I think my starting thing is just it was very jarring, and I like the first time I played, I kind of had a similar thing to Nolan, where I was like a little bit. I felt like I'd have to learn a bunch of new mechanics, and I don't think there are actually all that many new mechanics to learn. But that was the way I definitely felt that the first time playing. And then the quality of like the interactions and like the gameplay, like there were still moments where like I would do crazy high damage and that felt good, but like it definitely didn't feel as like intense because it wasn't a roguelike. And it didn't feel like the deck building aspect I was never like as interested in than the first act. So
Yeah, towards the end of each act, I like probably about 75% of the way act, I was feeling like I'm a little bit done with this, but I guess I'll push through because I'm almost there.
Right.
And then I'd get to the new act, and the first time I played it, I stopped there because I was like, well, it's you know. But this time, I'm really glad that each time that I pushed through and played, because I had fun in the next act, but it did that thing again where I got about 75% of the way through, and I was like, well, I'm kind of done with this. Let me just push on until the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You even felt that for the first act?
Yes, I did.
That's interesting because I actually loved the first act all the way through, and then when it came to the second act, I then lost it early on, and then kind of got the groove again until the third. But
Yeah, well, so actually, for me, it was a very specific reason in the first act. I beat Leshy before getting the item I needed in order to actually progress to the next section of the game.
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, what? The game, like, it just told me my win doesn't matter? Why is it doing this? Like, and it didn't, for some reason, it didn't feel like most roguelikes do, where you win the game, and it's like, congrats, you did the thing, right? I did really feel like my win just didn't matter, and the game was telling me it did. I don't know exactly why, but...
that's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you get the? Oh, you have to stab your eye out, and then you can see the time on the. Yeah.
And I just never ended up using the knife after the first time because I didn't need it until I had already lost the battle anyways. I was really bad about. I mean, normally pretty bad about using consumable. So the game had to tell me to use the knife.
Yeah.
In order to
You have
progress.
to use the knife to get to the second act?
Well,
Yeah. That's how you get the eye.
Go get the film
And
roll.
see.
so what's funny about that is I'm trying to remember. Yeah, so you have to take a picture of Leshy in order to progress. But then I don't know if this was also relevant to the eye itself because I think I didn't have it in my final run leading up to beating Act 1. But when the act switches, it puts you in a dark room that you have no idea what's going. At least for me, it put me in a dark room. And I was trying to remember what to do because I feel like I learned about it at some point, but I had no idea. And then immediately went, oh wait, I just exited, quit the game, went back to the main menu, and it lets you start new game. And so then I was like, okay, great. So I don't know if there was something supposed to be read there with the eye, but I didn't know. And so it was nothing. Maybe everyone has the same.
Yeah,
thing
no,
there,
I was
but-
the same way. But with that room transition, I know Cade was watching. I forget who else was there, but I got so pissed off in that room.
You're what do I do? Is the game broken?
What the hell is going on here? What am I supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I agree with a lot of the sentiment here of just I was so immersed and so excited about this roguelike deck builder. I had never really experienced anything like it before and just been so excited to see where the story was going. And then I just had this jarring switch and it kind of just, like I said earlier, crushed my momentum. And my excitement for the game just sort of dissipated. And I went back to it 2 more times and I just couldn't get into it the same way I was before, and it ended up just ruining my experience, which made me really sad. But
the game definitely leads with its strongest foot, which is good because the game is fun, and that's why a lot of people played it, is because there's this really cool roguelike deck builder there. But it does also make the transition, which should be this really cool thing and this really fun thing, not hit quite as hard because you're like, well, I liked what I was doing.
Yeah, I was having a lot of fun. It's just it's so fascinating to see, and I credit them because I don't think I've ever personally played a game where that's come up before, where you have basically 3 to 5 different games you have to play in different styles and different themes, and it's all within one sort of world and ecosystem. So I give a lot of credit to builders for that because that's impressive.
I was gonna say, I was thinking this before, maybe if they shortened the experience and refined it a little bit more, then it might not feel as bad. Or maybe if they kept some of the more some more threads, although it's tough to see how they could add more than they already do. The base mechanics are all the same game to game. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough
Right.
thing. Or maybe I was talking to Jackson about this, but like this, maybe if they ditched the meta thing so much, like I don't know. Part of it for me was like I was really invested in the like that world that you were in at the start and that aesthetic, and maybe if they kept that like the consistent thing where it was there's still a lot of mechanic switch ups, that could be interesting. But they have the story they wanted to tell, and it was meta, and you know, and it went between genres. So yeah, I don't know, maybe genre hopping just kind of has that quality. I don't know.
Well, it's because if you're going to genre hop now, you need to do the work of making multiple different games worth of systems and content and whatnot, right? And so you can't put quite as much time into each individual one. It's also why I think that the game mechanics are really fun at first but fall flat faster than usual, because they've made 4 different card games. And yeah, it's cool that they interact with each other, but if you make, I would much rather play one card game that someone put 4 times the amount of time into than 4 card games that someone put 1 times the amount of time into.
Yeah.
And I mean, and you guys are I agree with what you're saying. I think even just, there's 4 different card games, but even the first, each of them individually is still very fleshed out and detailed in their own ways. But I'll say this too, to add on narratively, I mean, this is just my opinion. It's like with the flow of everything, because when you go from 1 to 2, it very much drops off. And I felt that same way of like, okay, I'm not personally a fan of this genre style of game. So it was the same game, but it wasn't satisfying to me anymore. Just the literal being there, sitting in the room with Leshy playing against him, felt much more like, I'm going to die. I mean, obviously you lost the battles in the second act, but you didn't it wasn't a roguelike anymore. It was just like you just reset and you had to try again. And it was like, okay, this is not interesting. But when it went back to Act 3, I was excited again, because it was that, it was more of like a, I don't know what Cade you said earlier. It was like a Souls-like, but I enjoyed that going back. Plus the style kind of reverting back to how the first act looked. I think not that the second act has any credit. I mean, you could easily just take out that second chunk and then write something else in between and how it switches. And I think it I don't know if you wanted to keep it consistent, but that's just me having an opinion on what I enjoy.
I think for the goals that the game was trying to accomplish, it needed that second act.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
And here's the other thing is, like, perhaps it's just that the goals that the game was trying to accomplish are really difficult, and I think, like, credit where it's due, it did it really well. But also, like making a game that genre swaps, well, naturally you're gonna lose people, because not everyone's interested in every genre, right? Making a game with 4 different deck builders, well, you're gonna lose people because not everyone's gonna be interested in every single one. Everyone has their own personal tastes, feelings about things.
And that's I want to specify that. That's what I meant. I have just taste, but exactly, I agree.
I also felt like the it was the first act for me was tough to get through, and then the other 2 acts were pretty easy. Like I felt like I was never really struggling in the second 2 acts, and I don't imagine that was a creative intent, because like that would be kind of weird. But it like the second act was by far the easiest for me. And maybe this was like a game dev thing, but there was a point in the second act where I didn't know what I was supposed to do in the middle of it, and I felt like the game wasn't really like explicit. That might just me being stupid, but like that might just be me being stupid, but like that was weird. And then that was an easy act, and then the third act, like Zach was saying, you get back into that 3D world, so your brain kind of associates like, oh, maybe it'll be like hard again. But for me, it was just like the very like first like hour of that was like kind of hard when you're building your deck, but after that, like it was super easy in the third act. And
once you get once you get your sigils on the like empty vessel things, it starts to become pretty easy.
100%. Like, and when you get the turret sigil on your freaking guy, just like instant death to anything.
Turret plus death touch. And
then I felt like this might offend some people, but I felt like the story was just poorly executed. Like what I think they wanted to do was just not what ended up happening. And I really, really, really liked the end of the game where he gets killed, and I really like the blood. I think it looks realistic. But I think the whole game, like obviously they genre swapped 3 times, and then obviously the end of the game once more. But I just felt like me and Kay were talking, and I felt like they could have done so many different things just keeping it in the first act for the entire game. Like they could have had something where you're running through the forest playing card games with random people you found through the forest after you escape Leshy's place. Like that could have been so cool. Or like, you know, I could go on for hours about things. And I thought that the craft work, film stuff was just like, it's obviously like a solo developer, I'm pretty sure, making this game. And like, I appreciate the effort he put into those videos, but I feel like it kind of took me out of the experience a little bit because the whole game is so like gritty and real and scary, and then we're just like seeing this nice guy like kind of just figuring out what's happening with this company, and it's like kind of like cheesy, and then the woman walks up to his door and she's like looks like she's in kind of like a thrown out, like it looks like a BTVF production. Like
I was gonna say, I was actually like I was gonna say it very much felt like that.
She threw like a random shirt on and some glasses, and now she's like from this weird company, and she's gonna come and kill you in your house. It's like,
sure,
it just felt like so like jank to me, but it was charming, and that's like what is important. But the charm didn't last like how it should, and I felt like what I imagine the guy wanted it to come off as other people onto me really is, because I'm describing my experience. I don't think it's what he wanted, but maybe it was. Maybe he just wanted to be kind of quirky for the craft work or whatever it's called, the camera software. But I just thought it was just weird in the end of the day, and it was kind of sometimes hard to follow the story too. Like the story kind of kept like what's really happening? Oh, like now there's like, because I looked this up and I didn't even know this from the game, but apparently like, and we all obviously saw it at the end of the game, like when you see like the files coming out, the old data, apparently it's like Soviet like Nazi like era like secrets or something, and I didn't even know that till I looked it up. It's like it's relying a lot on the lore that's not even in the game, and I think that was a shortfall too. I just thought the story was tough. I really wanted to like it, and I did like definitely parts, and it was charming, but I just thought it was like, it's like, what are we trying to do here? Like, what are we trying to say with this, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think, oh, this is a side note. You said it a bit ago. I don't know. I can't remember how large the team is who made the game, if it's 1 or 2 people, but I remember seeing that the Lucky Carter is not one of the devs. Yeah. So he's just an actor.
That's what I was thinking. Like, did they hire these people as actors? Like, why does this look like a BTVF thing?
Which was really interesting to me, because I initially thought I was on the same boat. Like, oh, this might just be one of the devs, but it's actually just someone else.
That's probably a friend of the dev.
Right. Well, sure. I'm not saying it's not someone related to the project, but like it's just interesting that it was a whole another person.
There's only one dev. Dan Mullins
so there was one guy.
Is the guy who made it.
I got you.
I'm really impressive for one dev.
Yeah.
I know.
I agree. You've got good pixel art. You've got great 3D art. You've got great 3D environments. Like
it's crazy looking.
So much for one dev to do.
I know. I was looking at the credits, and they had a composer and sound designer that did stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
Are you sure it's one person?
It's one dev, and then I think it's like some supporting cast. But
I mean, no one makes a video game alone. Like even solo devs have help from other people all the time.
Yeah.
It's a Toby Vox situation. Like, I mean, he didn't do the music, but this guy programmed it all and like did all the design work and like. Yeah, I mean, he did the majority of the work. I think he got a little bit of help with pixel art and music and stuff, and obviously got some actors for his. Yeah,
it's funny though. Those found footage sections are definitely what Jackson said with like BTVF films. For anyone who doesn't know who's watching, I have a short film YouTube channel where all the guys here have helped out. Maybe not everyone, but has been a part of projects over the years, and those found footage sections felt like, all right, some shit I would have filmed like a couple years ago, and the acting and everything, and it hit home for me though a little bit because I was like, yeah, this is something I've done, and so I couldn't hate on it, but then at the same time, like, yeah, this is a little quirky, but it was funny. It was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It was
I felt the same way, but I wasn't actually gonna say it because I'm not a fan of the found footage genre. I don't really care for that.
Right.
And so I thought it might have just been me being down and negative about it.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I've done found footage. I mean, we have kind of done that. We've done a few short films on that, but I don't. That's just the style of like the acting, and then the people, like Jackson said, someone throwing on clothes and they don't actually look like the person that they're trying to play, and so it's all there. You can tell it's like, all right, it's just for the fun of it, which it does have that charm. But it was fun.
And I think it's only really noticeable just because the rest of the game is so incredibly
Exactly,
polished.
yeah.
Yeah.
The rest of the game feels amazing.
Like, why'd you put it? What is this whole thing?
Yeah, and I wonder if going for something that was more loggy and writing based could have been a little bit more effective if they couldn't
Right.
afford super
Sure.
expensive actors, because then you can still get the story across but
I feel
I
like
don't
they could have. I mean, I did end up playing the game for like 22 hours. I don't know if that's just because I'm like a slow gamer, but I feel like they could have cut off like at least 25% to 30% of the game and left it in the Leshy world in Act 1, super polished the story and the found footage, and it could have been great. Like that could have been a great way for them to go about it, because I definitely feel like creating all those acts and doing all that put a lot of stress on that developer, and like you could have kept in Act 1, polished and hired maybe a couple more actors, polished that part,
found footage
wrote
stuff,
the story a little more into the game, wrote the lore a little more into the game, and I would have thought it was a 10 out of 10 if that was the case. But it was still a really good game.
It would definitely be a different thing. Like, this guy was trying to tell a story, right? Like, and his story is beyond Leshy's cabin. That, and to me, when I was expressing that, it was just I feel that way because when I was playing Act 1, I was like, I thought this was the entire world,
Right.
and I loved that world, and I really want to explore that world.
Yeah.
So there's that explains that initial disappointment going into something that the game, going into what the game was trying to do, which was multiple different things. So I don't know. I don't think it's realistic or like a great criticism to be like you should change your whole story to match it to be
Right.
something that I will. But
I was just I guess I wasn't trying to say it like that. I was more trying to say like something I could see that would take the stress off of what was going on with the 3 acts and kind of how the game felt like it fell apart for so many of us. Could have been executed differently, but obviously you're right. Like, that's my opinion. That's something that I'm putting on him, obviously. But yeah.
We should also say that it did not fall apart. It just maybe didn't hold up quite as well as the first act.
Exactly.
Because I think we've been going into being a little down on it.
We want to make this crystal clear. It's an amazing game. It's a very great game. The story's really great. The lore's great. The mechanics are great. Everything's great. I understand what Jackson's saying, and I kind of said it earlier too. It's like we wish we could see more of this one part, and I would have liked to do a lot of that. And its own game of that would have been really cool. But everything together, I see what I know what was happening. I understood what was going on. It's just
I find this conversation really, really interesting because all of us are like, oh, these are the things I wish were better. This is the things that the game did wrong. And then someone will make a comment about how the animation was good, and everyone's like, oh yeah, the game's absolutely amazing.
Well, okay, it's I mean, at least for me, I'm not trying to overall, I love the whole thing and I love every bit about it, but I also wish other, and you can love something and still be like, I wish this happened differently.
No, I totally agree. I'm not saying that this is a bad conversation in any ways. In fact, this is very often how I have conversations about the games I love, right? Like we're game designers, right? We nitpicking the game is what we do, right?
Exactly.
And I think, you know, in those things, like those polished things and like the moment to moment, the experience of it all, like that is what is like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
Like
right.
that is like, and even like, and it's so good to like, okay, maybe the card game design might not be totally consistent throughout the whole game, but in terms of like moment to moment, like, okay, we're going for this like, almost like point and click type 3D game, like that experience is 100% done perfectly.
Right.
The second act, which is like an NES RPG game, like everything about that going for that style is done perfectly.
True.
You know, that's where the game is like a masterpiece, in my opinion.
For sure.
So.
Okay, so now kind of moving on here a little bit, and we talked about this with Undertale last time. At least it came up in a way where it's like, oh, Undertale is one of the most successful indie games of all time, and we all know about it, even if we haven't played it. We're very much aware of its like impact on the internet, at least. A question that Sean wrote here was like, where does this game fit? When it came out, were we aware of it? Even now, just feeling about it, like, you know, both subjectively and objectively, like within the indie sphere, how do we feel about it? I don't know. I mean, does anyone also have any like I'm saying, experience with when it came out or over time? Was it impactful to you at all? Do you feel like it was impactful to the industry at all? We're just curious. I'm just curious.
When it came out, I remember I watched Pokelawls play like a second of it, and I saw it on a couple other people's YouTube and Twitch, and I was just like, "Oh, that's an interesting game." And obviously, Cade was talking about it. Right. He's like, "This is a cool game, Inscryption. Yeah, it's a really cool card building game." I'm like, "Okay, cool," but I never knew it like an Undertale community type thing. I mean, Undertale's insanely massive. Yeah. This game is not even close, but it's definitely put its imprint on its communities respectively, and you know, it was a good game. But I wouldn't say that it was ever like in my mind like, oh, that's a big game. It's kind of like, this is a cool indie game that everyone seems to like. I'll play it one day, you know.
Yeah, I've heard Inscryption's name placed next to other like must-play indie greats, but I do have to say I feel like it's the least likely among those for me to hear.
I never even heard about the game really before Cade mentioned it to me through word of mouth. That's how I heard about it. I didn't see anything online or, yeah, I don't know if that's just because I'm not tapped in like that, but I just somehow didn't see anything about it. So I guess, I don't know. I guess my perspective is a bit different. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when it came out, I want to say it won some award or was a contender for an award or something, and you know, there was a lot of like buzz about it being good, and so then I bought it and played the first act and thought it was good, and but what's funny is what got me back into playing it again was I was taking a narrative class, and it was one of the games we had to play, and we only played the first act, and then I ended up playing the second act. But yeah, that's where I've like talked about the game the most,
right.
And that's a whole nother lens that you could go really deep on, like the amount of like, and I think on top of its polish is kind of what got its critical acclaim, and maybe and that's also like after finishing the game what kind of made me surprised, because I don't think it's perfect, but for its narrative, but all the little things it does is also like really cool, like the way it sets up the scribes and introducing them as cards in the first act, and like all their flavor text and everything they hint at, and like the even the moment, like all the moments too, like okay, we got a hint that maybe this is something that's bigger than just this one, you know, game. So there's that moment where like some point while you're playing, Luke will say like, "What the?" And like the game, the screen will get scratchy and, you know, look like it's being recorded or whatever.
love
So
it.
like, yeah, I don't know. That's like a whole other side of it, and I don't know. That was the lens that I looked at it in that class. But yeah,
Sure.
in terms of like lasting on the industry, I don't know of anything that's done like completely and totally unique. Maybe I think it's style and aesthetic. I see like that friend slop game. What's it called? The buckshot something.
Buckshot roulette.
Yeah, like I feel like that's very clearly inspired by the look of Inscryption.
Not to interrupt you, but literally on the Steam page, it says buy literally the same game bundle, and it's Buckshot Roulette and Inscryption for $20.
Oh.
It's under the Inscryption game.
funny.
They knew.
I'm looking at some numbers on SteamDB right now, and Undertale has twice as many reviews as Inscryption. Granted, that is just on Steam. Undertale has sold on other consoles as well. So it might be safe to say a third to a quarter as many people have played Inscryption as have played
Still a
Undertale.
shit ton.
I think
Still, it's a lot. Yeah.
I also want to say when Undertale came out in 2016, Steam was just a much less there was just much less games going up on Steam, and this is.
It might be more fair then to compare it to Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds has fewer reviews on Steam than Inscryption does. Granted, Outer Wilds also released on consoles, and I remember I played Outer Wilds through Xbox Game Pass. So that'll affect those numbers significantly.
That's super interesting, yeah.
Hmm.
I feel like I've heard Outer Wilds a bit more than Inscryption, at least nowadays, but Inscryption's not a new thing anymore. Because console games, usually if not released the same time, they're released later, and that keeps its momentum going, at least people being aware of it. Oh yeah, that game. I had a perspective from a YouTuber or YouTube perspective. I watched Markiplier just happen to play it when he was making. It was the day of, he posted a video of it, and I was like, "What is this game? This is pretty cool." And I watched like up until the end of Act 2 of him playing it, and I already at that point had a feel of like what was kind of going on, and that was years ago. But then now coming back, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed what was being told and what was being played and shown." And so I came, but I don't know if this is a good or bad thing, but YouTubers promoting, depending on who you are, if it's a good or bad thing, but for me it was a good thing, because YouTubers promoting and playing these games really like Markiplier, bump those numbers up, and I'm glad he did, because it got me to see it and hear about it and think about it and maybe even inspire me a little bit. But that's how I found out about it, but only ever heard it about through him and maybe a few other people, and then just kind of lost touch after that. But all right, folks, we're jumping into trivia now. Cade's made some questions here for all of us to hopefully. I'm going to answer all of them. I'm going to successfully answer all of them again, like last time.
All right.
I think these are gonna, because I don't, unlike Nolan, I did not go deep on the Inscryption lore. So I'm doing very basic ones. Jackson, what are you doing down here? You're not supposed to be looking at these.
Oh, I'm down there.
Sorry. Go back up. Go. You're not supposed to know them yet.
Okay.
Go back up.
Are we supposed to look at them?
Just
I'm
ask the question.
I'm gonna ask them.
Okay.
Zach, you get first chance to answer every single question.
You want?
Okay.
Okay, that's fair, because I'm actually not gonna get them right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. This one everyone should know. Hopefully these are easy to hard-ish. Who is the stoat in Act 1?
Who is the stoat?
Yes.
Well, gee golly. I actually forgot his last part of his name. I would have said P something.
P something. The robot.
Yeah, exactly.
How many sacrifices do you need to get the Mantis God?
3.
You have to make.
To get the
That's
Mantis
wrong.
3.
Nolan is correct. Nolan is correct.
What?
It's 1. All right.
Dang, I didn't know that.
Okay, now, Zach, you're gonna have to do editing.
Okay.
I'm bringing it up to the top of the page.
Okay.
What does this sigil do? It's the little infinite one
Wait,
with this
I
knife
have to
through
look
it.
at it.
You have to
Um,
look at the.
Can I
the
look
top
at
of
it
the
now?
page.
Sacrifices for blood.
It's
top
infinite
of the page.
sacrifice.
Yeah, I didn't even need to answer. I knew it. I knew that one.
Okay.
Infinite sacrifices for blood.
Now I have the page open because I have to look at them.
You have to just stay at the top of the page. Just don't scroll down.
He's gonna move it up there, you bogoon.
What's the next question?
Okay. Who is Casey?
See, that I don't remember.
Nah.
I feel like Nolan got one already.
Okay. Casey he works for the people who made Inscryption, and she ended up making the card game into a video game and dying in a factory fire, was it? Something like
Is that
that.
what it was? Okay.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Okay. This one. Okay. This is one where you're going to look at the top of the page.
What?
Yep.
Are you-
All right.
I can't.
What is
Oh my-
Oh, dang it, Nolan.
What did he say?
This is what does this map icon mean?
Oh, that's get a new card.
I didn't see it. Oh my god. I have to scroll. It's get a new card. God, hey, this is a where the hell am I looking? All right.
Did I not say you have to look at the top of the page?
I'm looking at the top of the page and I thought you meant the top of the question page, bro. What do you mean?
Look at the top of the document.
Man,
That's even worse. Say, look at the top. Look at the bottom of the first page. Say that.
Okay. What does that icon mean? It does not mean get a new card.
It's
does
not.
Oh, it means one of your cards dies to get a new one.
Oh,
What was the? Well, that's wrong. What did you say, Brendan?
I said remove a card, just a straight remove.
Nope.
I was
Is
gonna
this
say,
the one where you get the choice between the different archetypes and you have to pick like between like eagle,
that's
ant, and
that's the
But
wolf
it's
one.
close.
That's the wolf
It-
icon one. I
Wolf
remember
icon.
that one.
You're close. It's you are choosing a card,
Mhm.
but what kind of card are you choosing?
That's a sacrifice card. I think. Am I wrong?
What do you mean by sacrifice card?
Or blood cards? Or
No,
Damn.
that's the
Losing.
because that one has the blood on it. I don't know why I don't know this one. I click on it every time, but
No.
Is it where you sacrifice a card and you put a sigil on the new
Nope.
card?
no.
Yeah, I can't even see it. I was just guessing based on context.
It's this card with a skull on it, Nolan.
I'm trying to remember what that did.
Well,
It's
two
a-
cards with a skull on it. The back one is shaded darker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like you're getting a new card, but it has the skull on it instead of
Right,
like, the
because I'm
question mark.
imagining the new card icon.
Dude.
Okay.
It doesn't.
Fuck.
I don't know
Wait,
what
wait,
it is.
Yes, it is, and this is Jackson. This is the answer to your problem. This is how you get death cards. This one will give you an option of 3
I
death
don't know
cards.
what it is.
Oh, this is the death card one. Okay. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
I don't remember ever getting any death cards in the third act.
The third act. Oh, no.
Definitely not. This is only for the. This is. Oh, the color might have thrown you off. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
It's-
the color did throw me off.
that is actually. I think only the map icon. I guess the map icons are also in the.
There,
Hmm.
the map.
That is confusing.
They are,
I-
yeah.
it is for them. That's from the first
Oh.
act. Yeah.
I see.
Okay. This one. I barely remember it, but what is the name of the paint wizard scribe?
Oh,
Oh,
Isn't it like oh something? Isn't it the wolf character?
Yeah.
It is the wolf character, but do you
Scorn
know?
wolf or something? Or
no,
like
yeah, that's the name of his card form, but then like the card, but his actual name.
oh I don't yeah fuck I don't know.
Wait, the name of the wizard?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like
Oh, the
Scrib-
name of
Scribilius
the
or
three
something.
Guys, the wizard guy. Magnimus. Mag. Magnius.
Magnomius.
It's a
Magnomonia.
real word.
Magnus.
You're very close. I looked it up.
Magma.
Magnius. Ah,
We're
fuck.
very close.
Magnius.
No,
Is it one of the words? Is one of the letters switched?
Mag is
This
right.
ain't Wordle. This isn't Wordle.
Magnanimous. No.
Magnanimous. Magnum. I don't remember. I can't remember. I was thinking of like the art scribe or the paint one.
Yeah, that is him. Okay, it's
Yeah.
Is it?
Did you say art or the wizard?
Magnificus?
According to the internet, it's Magnificus.
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 Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm
Okay.
mixing the both. I have like two different characters in my head, but they're both the same person.
All right, the final one, which I think is cheesy, but I think how many bones do you need to use to get the amoeba?
4.
Is it 2 or 1?
3.
It was 2.
Let's go.
All right,
I had double.
that's all I got.
Fuck.
Exactly. Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Video Game Book Club here at Fern Studios. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Links in the description. We got games coming out soon. Hopefully. If they're not, by the time this episode comes out, one of them may already be out. So I'm not going to say, it's Astro Hollows. It might be already out. I don't know yet. Just go look. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys later. Bye.